So the other day we ended up getting 2 feeder pigs, and we've got them back there in that barn in a makeshift stall right now. So today we're going to be trying to build a pig pen for those pigs and get them outside. And we ended up just getting back from the local feed store. So there's like a feed mill actually like 30 miles away. It's just a small little feed mill, and we typically buy our feed in 50-pound bags at Rural King. And knowing these pigs, we're going to end up going through quite a bit of food to raise these pigs. We started trying to look for other alternatives, so we ended up picking up 1,000 pounds of pig feed. We did pick up a couple other things to try out from them, but we got 1,000 pounds of pig feed from them, and we were able to get that for a few cents cheaper a pound than buying it at Rural King. And we'll have to get this feed stored away today, but really we're going to try to get this pig pen built. So we wanted to put it near water, electricity, and we needed shade for the pigs. So after kind of looking around, we've decided that we wanted to put it close to the pole barn up front here. It's far away from our house as well, so it's a little bit, if there's any smell, it'll be farther away from our house. But we have water and electricity in that barn. So what we've decided to do is we've decided to basically build their where their hog hut, where their house will be, and where their food and water will be around this maple tree right here. So we're going to kind of make a hog pen around this maple tree. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to clean out some stuff in here. We'll probably mow the perimeter of where we're going to make their pig pen. That way we can go ahead and start putting fence in. So the pig pen itself will be probably just all cattle panels with electric fence in there to train them to electric fence. And then later on we're gonna expand this. We're gonna put more electric fence in, and we'll let them roam over to where our garden used to be and let them root through that old garden area. But for right now, we just want to build a small pig pen. It'll probably be about 16 by 32 pig pen, and it'll be right around this maple tree. So we're going to go ahead, get started, start pulling some of this. There's some junk buried in here inside of this grass. Try to clean this out a little bit and start putting our fence in. So I think our pig pen area is now ready and ready for us to move the pigs out here. And just like any project that I try to do, it doesn't go smoothly. So we were delayed 2 times on this project. So the first time we were delayed, we ended up started building this, and we started putting in the fence panels, and we used these fence panels that were in our chicken coop area. We had 6 of them, and we decided that ended up probably not being big enough. So we decided we wanted to get a couple more panels, make it a little bit bigger for the pigs. We will expand this with electric fence later once the pigs get a little bit bigger, but for right now, for probably the next month or so, they're going to stay just in this small area. And so that delayed us one day, so we went and got more fence panels to make it bigger. We also bought the fence panels to make the little hoop house for the pigs. And so that delayed us one day, so we got it expanded, then started doing the electric fence, opened up the electric fence charger. We just went and bought an AC fence charger, and it just bought a cheap one. It was like a $27 charger. Opened it up and looked at it, and it said it wasn't good enough for pigs, basically. It didn't have enough energy to keep pigs in. So decided we weren't going to take a chance with it, that we'd take it back. So I had to go back this morning, get a new fence charger. This time I decided not to just kind of go skimpy on a charger. This is our first electric fence that we've messed with. So I did end up buying one. I think the first one we bought was only like a 2-mile, so it was a pretty small charger. And so the one we got now is this is a 15-mile charger, so it's quite a bit bigger of a charger than the last one. It's on right now. I can hear it clicking. And this is a AC or DC fence charger. In fact, it says it's good for using with with AC, DC, or you can even use it in a solar configuration also. So I decided to go ahead and just spend the extra money for that. That way it's more flexible for us and we can move it around anywhere on the property. So right now I've got an extension cord here, ran all the way back over here to the barn. And I actually, on this property, there was a couple batteries left here in that barn back there. And they're old batteries. I'm sure they don't work, but I think I can go trade one in, get a core charge, and I could probably, here in a week or so, I'll probably just buy a deep cycle battery and put out here. And then that'll kind of help me guarantee that this fence will stay charged if we lose power during a storm or anything like that. So I think everything's ready for the pigs. Now the electric fence that's inside of here, this doesn't actually keep them in here. These fence panels are to keep them in here. So we only have this fence going from like right there, and then it goes around all the way around over to this corner. So there's basically just 3 sides of this pin have that wire, and that's just to train them on the electric fence so they know to stay away from it. And then later we'll expand the area with probably 2 or 3 wires of electric fence, and then we'll let them, this big grown-up area behind me is where my garden was last year, and we'll let them go in that old garden area and just root that up, and we'll give them a lot bigger area to mess with here later. But this wire in here right now is just for us to train the pigs to electric wire. And this is my first time messing with electric fence. There's a ton of stuff here left on the property. I probably got 2 5-gallon buckets full of stuff for electric fence. So I did actually end up having to go buy the wire to hook up the electric fence. So there's a special wire that's like a 20,000 volt wire that you can direct bury to go around gates and everything. And so I had to buy a little bit of that to be able to hook up between the charger and the fence and the ground rod. But other than that and the charger is pretty much all I about had to buy. The rest of these little standoffs here on the fence I already had here, and I already had a spool of the electric fence wire as well. So I think it's ready. We just used an old tarp and we doubled it up, used some bungee cords, and made this, got it over this little hoop house. We got this maple tree here, so any time of the day there should be shade somewhere around this maple tree as the sun goes from sunset to sunrise. The pigs should be able to find some shade in here. So I think we're ready. I think I'm gonna go see if the wife wants to help me. We're gonna see if we can catch these pigs, move their food and water into here, and get the pigs moved into their new area. Now we're just gonna go ahead and use the same food and water bowls that we have in the barn right now. Eventually we'll try to make some kind of a pig water. We're gonna try to make a trough for the pigs to eat out of. Maybe even make some type of a pig feeder to hold food for them. But we're not going to have that today. We're just going to go ahead and use what we got. So let's go catch some pigs. So we're going to try to put the pigs, I think, in the crate that we picked them up in. And we may try to just lure them in there with some animal crackers or some kind of treat See if we can get the pigs to go in that crate and then kind of shut them up in there. Then we'll try to carry them out there to the new pig pen. See how this goes. Piggies. Okay.
Oh, I dropped a cookie. Here, piggies.
You can't give all the cookies to the goat.
It's gonna be easy.
It was easy. That was easy. Good job, pigs.
Good thing I love cookies.
Good thing they love cookies. All right. Right arm. Ready? Here you guys go. Ready? This is the time to move them, right?
Come on.
There you go. You guys are already trying to root, aren't you? Yeah, look at you. Sticking your nose in there. You're going to touch that hot wire with your butt. I haven't heard one of them hit the hot wire yet, but I figure they're going to. Look at them go. I can tell from their longer snouts they're going to be little rooters. He found it. That was the first shock. I think they'll learn pretty quick. All right. All right, we named them. I think we named them, right?
Yeah.
We got some names picked out for them. Since they, we've had a lot of people give suggestions for their names. I think we've picked names. So, that one right there is the bigger one, right?
Yes.
So what are we naming him?
Pork chop.
Pork chop. So.
Hey, pork chop.
That's pork chop. He's got a lot of energy today. They've been cooped up in that barn for a week. Yeah. So that's pork chop. He don't know whether he wants to come and get food
I
from
know,
you or
he's
not.
so happy.
Yeah. I told you guys would love it outside, didn't I?
Yeah, you haven't been outside for a while.
The other one's like staying calm and this one's bouncing around.
Yeah. What was the other piggy's name?
You remember we're going to name the other one?
No.
The other one's a little bit smaller. He's pretty shy. We're going to call him Bacon Bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Bacon Bit. So we got Pork Chop and Bacon Bit.
Yeah.
That's the two pigs' names.
I hear him just chomping away.
So the other one's smaller, but the white on his face is he's got a bigger white spot on his face. That's Bacon Bit. Kind of hard to tell apart when they're not next to each other. But Bacon Bit's got definitely a wider white stripe on his face. But when they're next to each other, you can see the size difference pretty easily. You can see the difference in the face pretty easily.
Well, Bacon Bit has crazy eyes like Arms Family Homestead's cow.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, Bacon Bit looks crazy all the time.
He's a little crazy-eyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely the shy one of the bunch and doesn't want anybody getting near him. So he'll come around, I think. The more you give him treats and food, and I think he'll come around. There's that eyeball.
I know.
That crazy eyes you said, huh?
Yeah.
Staring back at you. He's always got his eye on you. Well, that actually went pretty good. Moving the pigs in here, that was very easy. Way easier than I thought it was going to be. put a little food in that dog crate. We got them to go inside of it, locked them in there, just carried them right out here and put them right inside. So the moving of the pigs went pretty good. So the pen right here, it's actually made with the stock panels, and we had a bunch of these left over from our chicken coop area, our old chicken coop area. And what these are is these are the stock panels. There's a bunch of different types of stock panels, and this is what they call a combination panel. So it has really big openings at the top, and as it gets down closer to the bottom, it starts getting a lot smaller grid down there, and that's to keep baby animals from being able to go out. And it's good for use for all different types of livestock. So that's what we're using for the perimeter fence on this pig pen. So now we had to buy a couple to make this little hoop house here for the pigs. So this is just 2 of them side by side, and we cut those from 16 feet. They come 16 feet long. We cut them down to 12 feet to be able to make this hoop, because we didn't want them, if we kept them at 16 feet, the hoop would have just been huge. I think it turned out fairly good. These are the actual true, instead of the combo panels, these are the actual true cattle panels, and they have big squares, pretty much the entire width, or of the panel. So there's less wire on those. They're a little bit cheaper to buy. So that's what we bought to make our little hoop house out of. We just covered that with an old tarp, and that should work for now. It's not 100% covered, but that should be good enough for now for these pigs. Hopefully that'll last this year. And so we took where we cut those off, those cattle panels, we cut those off. We had basically almost 4 feet left over. So we decided to use one as a door. So we have over here, this right here is our door, but since it had these big squares all the way down, these little bitty pigs, since they're not very big, I'm afraid those little bitty pigs could get through the squares and be able to get out. So we decided to cover the bottom part of this with a little bit of scrap OSB, and that's just to prevent the pigs from being able to get out of the lower part of this door. As they get bigger, they're not going to fit through these holes. But so this is our makeshift door. It's just a piece of cattle panel, and it is got just a bunch of zip ties connecting it to the next cattle panel to work as a hinge. So it's just kind of zip tied there on the side, and we use zip ties on this entire structure. Kind of ran out of some of the big ones, but we try to use the big ones where it attaches to the posts, and they'll last for at least a year before they about get brittle. So this will work for this season. Over time, the zip ties do get brittle, and so it's good for temporary structures. But this door here will hinge inward, and then when you close it, it kind of overlaps and hits this other fence. So there's no way that the pigs could be able to push this door open because it hits against that fence. So you gotta open it inward. So that's another way to keep the pigs from being able to get out. And then since it overlaps probably about 8 inches. It's pretty good overlap. And then we just got a bungee cord down here that we're going to just kind of wrap around that, and that'll keep that door shut. It'll be pretty rare for us to actually probably come in here and get in with the pigs. I'm not seeing us having to get in here every day. We got their food and water set up over here on the side. The electric fence just ends right over here. So this is in a section where there's no electric fence, and we can just reach over and fill their water and food from this side over here. And eventually, bugs. Eventually, we're going to end up expanding from this door and just kind of making a big area out to the garden with electric fence. So then it'll be short enough that we can step over it. So we'll be able to step over it. We could open this door up and let the pigs out to the whole area. And then probably at night, we'll probably lock this back. We'll lock them back up in here at night. If we can get them to go back in here, we'll just have to wait and see how that works. But for right now, for the next month or so, they're just going to stay inside of this pen. So this pen is roughly, oh man, it's 3 cattle panels long, and it's pretty good size. So it's a decent sized pen for the pigs, and we'll just keep them in here for now and see how it goes. Thanks for watching.